The notion that scientists and mainstream media are intentionally deceiving the public about climate change is a concept that has gained significant traction in recent years. While it is true that there are some discrepancies and uncertainties in the field of climate science, the overwhelming consensus among experts is that human-induced climate change is real, and it poses a significant threat to our planet. However, the narrative that scientists and media are complicit in the grand conspiracy to mislead the public about climate change is a complex issue that warrants examination. One of the primary reasons why some individuals believe that scientists and media are lying about climate change is due to the perceived politicization of the issue. Climate change has become a highly polarized topic, with some politicians and special interest groups denying its existence or downplaying its significance. This has led to a situation where some people are more likely to distrust information about climate change, especially if it comes from sources that they perceive as having a liberal or progressive bias. Furthermore, the fact that some scientists and media outlets have been caught making errors or exaggerating the severity of climate change has been seized upon by skeptics as evidence of a broader conspiracy. However, it is essential to recognize that the scientific community is not a monolithic entity that is capable of orchestrating a massive deception. Climate science is a complex and multifaceted field that involves the contributions of thousands of researchers from around the world. While it is true that some scientists may have biases or agendas, the peer review process and the rigorous standards of scientific inquiry are designed to minimize the impact of these biases and ensure that the information that is presented to the public is accurate and reliable. Another factor that contributes to the perception that scientists and media are lying about climate change is the role of special interest groups and lobbyists. The fossil fuel industry, in particular, has a significant stake in downplaying the severity of climate change as it threatens their profits and livelihoods. These groups have been known to fund research and propaganda campaigns that cast doubt on the science of climate change, often using tactics that are designed to create confusion and uncertainty among the public. This has led to a situation where some people are more likely to believe that climate change is a hoax or a natural phenomenon, rather than a real and pressing issue that requires immediate attention. The mainstream media also plays a role in shaping public perceptions of climate change. While some media outlets have been accused of sensationalism and exaggeration, others have been criticized for downplaying the severity of the issue or providing a platform for climate change deniers. However, it is essential to recognize that the media is not a single entity, but rather a diverse collection of outlets and journalists with different perspectives and agendas. While some media outlets may be more prone to sensationalism or bias, others are committed to providing accurate and balanced coverage of climate change. In conclusion, the idea that scientists and mainstream media are lying to us about climate change is a complex issue that is driven by a combination of factors, including politicization, special interest groups, and media bias. However, it is essential to recognize that the overwhelming consensus among experts is that human-induced climate change is real, and it poses a significant threat to our planet. Rather than relying on conspiracy theories or misinformation, we should be focusing on the scientific evidence and the expert consensus, and working towards a solution that addresses the root causes of climate change. By doing so, we can create a more sustainable and equitable future for all and avoid the worst impacts of climate change. Ultimately, it is up to each of us to be critical thinkers, seek out accurate information, and to demand action from our leaders to address this pressing issue.